Good morning, get excited. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Miss Kim, and I am the CEO of the Revolutionary Institute of Beauty. I am so excited. This is my absolute first podcast. So here we are. I'm hoping that everyone is as excited to be here as I am. And welcome. Tonight is not just about talking about beauty, it's this career talk. This is a business talk. This is a purpose talk. And for those of you who like to talk as much as me, get excited. You have come to the absolute right place. I hope you're enjoying the weather as much as I am. This is not an AI background. I am actually sitting in my lovely balcony here, and I've got the live plants to show you. This is not AI, this is real life. Because we want to talk about apprenticeship, we are talking about a pathway that can change somebody's life. We are talking about someone learning a skill, building confidence, creating income, and possibly opening doors to entrepreneurship. Take it from me. I started as a cosmetology professional at the young age of 17 years old, and I just celebrated my 59th birthday. Get excited, and I'm still in the industry. So I'm so excited about that. And grab your notebook, share this live with someone you know who has taken the beauty industry seriously, and let's get into this conversation. So, I'm going to take a little sip because I am outside. It's a little warm. We're in Maryland. I hope you got your tea and your coffee with you. So, now let's talk about licensors, salon owners, and licensed professionals who want to help, but they don't know how to properly train, mentor, and develop an apprentice. This is why this series exists. This is going to be the hub. This absolutely is going to be the hub for all things beauty. The place where we can talk about apprenticeship, beauty education, professionalism, state board readiness, business branding, and building a real career. Now, because we're having conversations, I'm not just going to sit here and talk to you. I'm going to bring into the room Miss Arnetta Rogers, another business beauty professional. So let's bring her on in. Good evening, Miss Rogers. How are you? Oh, we need to unmute you.
Yeah. Good
Okay,
evening. Good evening, everyone. And thank you. Thank you for having me today.
absolutely welcome. Thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere, but you decided to join us today, so thank you for that. And so we're talking about apprenticeship here. And first of all, what is beauty? What is apprenticeship? Apprenticeship is when a beauty professional sponsors someone that wants to be in the beauty business. But there are pros and cons to being an apprentice. We're going to talk about that in depth today. I do have a few stories I want to share, which is one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to start this conversation about apprenticeship, because a lot of people are misled and they don't really understand the full scope of apprenticeship and everybody's responsibilities. Because as an apprenticee, you have responsibilities, and as a sponsor, you have a responsibility. So, that's when people get confused. And a lot of times, sponsors take on
Hmm.
apprentice and have them doing just salon duties. Apprenticeship is on the job training. It is the sponsor's responsibility to make sure that the apprenticee, this is on the job training. So they're learning all things beauty in addition to their practical and their theory. So I want to talk about that. So, what are your thoughts on that, Ms. Rogers?
Well, before I answer, any of your questions, for those of you who don't know, I want to introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And
I got excited.
it's okay. And I want to thank you, for having me. Right. My name is Arnetta Rogers, known as the Business Solutionist. I am a licensed cosmetologist, entrepreneur, educator, insurance professional, and advocate for the beauty culture industry. I currently serve as the president of the Maryland uh, uh, what
Artisans of Beauty.
once was, yeah, the Maryland United Artisans of Beauty, and better known as UABC. Our mission is to unite, educate, advocate, elevate beauty professionals while helping them build sustainable businesses, careers, and legacy. So,
Yes.
with that being said, um, I don't know if you knew this, Kimberly. I went to school and I became an apprentice.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so you have experience on both sides.
I
This is
do.
amazing. This is perfect.
I do. And, I spoke of it before, but I don't
Mhm.
know if you and I really had that conversation. But I had a great teacher. I was, of course, in the salon. That's what an apprenticeship is. Usually, a salon can be at a salon or school, correct?
Yes.
Because you
No, no. The apprentice. Well, let me take that out. No, apprenticeship is solely for the salon.
Okay, it's
Mhm.
solely for the salon. So I
Yes.
did it the right way. But
Okay.
one of the reasons why I had to do both is because the school had a fire and it lost some records. And
Mm,
so I had to essentially start over, not from scratch, but
mhm.
I did have to get some additional hours. And I'm so glad I did because, I got a chance to make some money and learn
Mhm.
at the same time.
Mhm.
So it was a great experience for me. It takes a while longer with apprenticeship,
Right.
but I didn't mind because I had the best of both worlds.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Mhm.
And it's so funny because I got so excited and got right into the conversation and didn't even introduce myself. I just started talking. All right, now let's get into it. So, thank you for that. And let me introduce myself. I am Miss Kim of the Revolutionary Institute of Beauty, Miss Kim's Beauty LLC, and the Beauty Exchange. We are all things beauty. I have been in this industry since I graduated from high school many, many moons ago. And I absolutely love it. There is nothing else I'd rather be doing. I tried it and I always come back to beauty because I know that you can scale in this industry if you're smart about it and if you do not put any limitations on yourself and if you have passion here and you believe in yourself, then all things are possible. And this is a space for creatives. So
Mhm.
all day long, what can we do next? So that that's just a little bit about me. And as you start to join our community here at the Apprenticeship Hub, you'll begin to learn a lot more about me and our team and all the different things that we have to share. And we're always welcoming more people in. So get excited. So thank you for sharing your experience about being on both sides. As a sponsor of apprentices, I'm always excited because it is workforce development. They're hands on. It's on the job training.
Mhm.
You can't be afraid when you're an apprentice because you get the experience much faster than you would a real life experience, more faster than you would if you were in a school setting. And I say that because I'm in both sides. I teach for a public school, high school students, and then I also have my own school, and we also have a salon that sponsors cosmetologists. So we do
Mhm.
have one of our graduates on the call as well, Miss Janice. She has graduated from our apprentice program and now she is a licensed cosmetologist. So we are so excited about that. And hand clap to Janice for getting your license. Congratulations. And I want to start off with a story or a phone call that I took. Now we get lots of phone calls coming in asking what can we do to help. So mostly it's people that have gone through their cosmetology training, their formal training. They have received all of their hours for whatever reason, life happened, they didn't continue their education, but they
Mm-hmm.
still have those hours. Those hours are theirs. They want to, now go back to school. So they think they have to go back to school. But if you've already completed your hours and you have 1,500 hours worth of training in the state of Maryland, those are your hours. You don't have to, let me say it again, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to go back to school. You just need a refresher. You need to be connected with someone who knows what the laws are and can get you the information that you need to be prepared for your state exam, no matter what state you're in. So we have had the wonderful opportunity to help people from other states, um, Chicago, North Carolina, California, Texas. They call. I don't know how they're finding us, but they're finding us, and they say,
Yeah.
I found you on the internet. Can you please help me?" Absolutely, we can. So it doesn't matter, if it's on site or if it's online. We have the capabilities of helping you through all of those things. But I'm going to share this story with you. Okay, here it is. Young lady gives me a call and she says, "Hi, can you help me? I need help. I just finished my apprenticeship training and I'm ready to study for my exam because I want to go take my test." So I have a few questions now. My first question is: you are an apprentice. I need to have verification of your training. Can you submit your hours so I can see that you finished your training from your approved sponsor and now we can get you ready? And then my second question is: if you had a sponsor, it's the sponsor's duty to make sure that you are prepared for state board. So the
Mm-hmm.
sponsor has a responsibility. They can't just take you in as an apprentice and say, "Fold those towels, shampoo her hair, sweep the floor over there." That's not how apprenticeship works.
Mm-hmm.
So it was unfortunate that as the conversation continued with this young lady, the hours that she had received were hours that were written down on a piece of paper. So the person that she was working under or working for was just physically writing hours down.
Ooh.
And once she got to 1,500 hours, then
Yeah.
she was ready to go take her test. But the person that was also training her had no concept of what her responsibility was as a sponsor. And for 2 years had this young lady working under her without any
Recording.
any recordings, but she was working beyond scope. So, in order to
Mm-hmm.
be an apprentice, you have to first have a senior cosmetology license. So that validates that yes, I'm able to train this person. That's one.
The
Two, you
sponsor has to have the senior cosmetologist license.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and the sponsor also has to be in a salon. You can't. I can't be working from home and this an unlicensed facility and then say, "Okay, well, you can work from my home business and then I'm going to go ahead and write this paper." You could go to the state board and take your exam. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and unfortunately it's happening a lot. um we need to, as an apprentice, they have to get into the physical part of doing it. They have to learn the practical and theory. They need to understand what's going to be on the state exam. And, the unfortunate thing is apprenticeship is not for everyone. Some people would want to go to a traditional cosmetology school, and that's
Mm-hmm.
fine too, because, while both aspects of this training are structured, the uh, sponsorship part of it is a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more relaxed than if you were working at a private career school. So, yeah, and then another thing we always talk about, from an educator standpoint, you get excited about the program and
Mm-hmm.
not realizing that you're making a full-on commitment here. This is a commitment towards your hours. This
Yeah.
is a commitment to learning all of the things, not just the things that you want to do. Because a lot of times, and I deal with this every day, where I
Mm-hmm.
have a student tell me what they don't want to do. "Oh, well, I don't want to." You don't have to worry about teaching me that, because I don't want to do that when I get into when I don't want to do that once I get my license. But if you're in the beauty culture, guess what? We have to learn it all. So if
Yes.
you want to learn how to do pedicures, it's part of our training, right? So yes.
And they
Yeah,
are training with the best. They must know that when they're at Revolutionary Institute of Beauty.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have to have passion for this. And then as you start to get those experiences in the business and you get your first client, like we have a few apprentices with us now, and it's so exciting to see them transform their client, especially not having any experience whatsoever. So it's like, I have
Yeah.
to do what? Okay, well, I've never done it before, but just tell me what to do. You do have to have the faith and the confidence to know that this is a learning experience. And
Mhm.
while our clients are coming in and receiving services from students, they have to take that into consideration also.
Mhm.
It's different when a client walks in and gets a service from a student, opposed to going into a licensed salon and receiving a service. They have to remember that.
That's true. So
Mhm.
can I ask a question? Ask you a question?
Absolutely, please do.
Um, I noticed you speak of the apprenticeship hub.
Mhm.
Can you share, because I know a couple of individuals, aspiring um, apprentices or aspiring young ladies who would like to come through the industry. Can you share with me so that I can share with them, or
Mhm.
even show them this video of what that experience looks like for them with the apprenticeship hub?
Absolutely. So what the apprenticeship hub is, a place where you can come to and receive all of the information that you need to stay current, to stay motivated, and it puts you on the track towards licensure and
Mhm.
placement. So while it's not just the apprenticeship hub, we also have different pieces of our tree. And
Mhm.
with that, you can, because honestly, it's all about the community. And a lot of times, we get into the business and we don't have anyone to turn to. We have to have somewhere to go when we start having issues and challenges and changes. And
Mhm.
sometimes we just need somebody to talk to,
That's right.
so we can back into our get grounded again,
Mhm.
because we're always going through something. But while we're in this industry and we're serving, this is a service industry. In order to
Mhm.
serve other people, we have to be able to take care of ourselves. We can't take care of ourselves if we don't have anybody to turn to. So that apprenticeship hub, while we are training, we're also mentoring. So that's really what it's about, and just knowing that you have somewhere to go, someone to turn to, someone to ask questions with. Sometimes we just need to be in the room and not say anything to each other. We just need to be
Mhm.
there. Just know,
Learning.
say you're there, right?
Yeah.
you know,
Learning. Yeah.
yeah.
If I may share,
Mhm.
a story or two. I can remember as an apprentice, I was in full, learning mode. I was just coming from school. I was angry at first that I had to almost start over. But again, that
Mhm.
quickly subsided when I realized that, I kind of had the best of both worlds. Um, a lot of people were just graduating from school, right? They didn't have to start over, but they were, in the salon, they were making money.
Mhm.
And I can remember the setting very vividly because we learned from one another.
Yes.
And that was the best part. Yeah, you have your theory and you must learn your theory,
Mhm.
because if you have a great sponsor like I did, and God rest her soul because she's passed on now. Uh,
Mhm.
her name was Darlene, and she was a good person, right? And some of you may know Arlette. I think her last name was Berninger. She wasn't my sponsor, but she was the manager of hair cuttery at the time.
I
And
remember Arlette.
yeah, yeah,
Wow. I was getting ready to
we go
say hair cuttery. Yes.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh
And we
wow.
go really far back. She's actually the lead cosmetologist instructor at Laurel High School now,
Mhm.
right? But we've maintained a relationship over the years, and
Mhm.
But my experience as an apprentice, because I had great people in my space, it was during a time where we all wanted to learn
Mm-hmm.
new things. We wanted to learn from one another. I didn't learn how to do a cut in school. I learned it from my colleague who sat right in front of me. I
Yes.
will watch her every day.
Yes.
And, I became known
Mm-hmm.
in my expertise for my cuts
Mm-hmm.
because I had proper training around
Yes.
people who studied and learned and wanted to share as well.
Mm-hmm.
And but I will say this: back then, they didn't have marketing,
Mm-hmm.
business. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't focus on the business aspect
Mm-hmm.
of being in the industry. They focused on helping you
Right.
learn theory and practical so you can get your license.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, we didn't think about it either because we thought that that's what we could do it. If we had the
Yes.
skill, then we can run the business. And that's
Right.
totally, far from the truth. We all learned,
Right. Right.
you
Oh, we
know,
can't do it. Oh, okay.
through trial and error. We learned the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
And but again, that was my
Mm-hmm.
experience. And I just hope that those of you who are out there who would like to go through um, a great apprenticeship program, Revolutionary Institute of Beauty is that place. I know that and believe that because I work with her, Miss Kimberly, in other areas, and her integrity, her skill set is amazing. If you're not ready to work and become something great, follow your dreams, your
Mm-hmm.
goals, your aspirations within this industry, then she's not the place for you because she is going to push you no matter what. Life happens,
Yes, it
but
does.
let it happen. But
Mm-hmm.
you still have to focus on you, and I know Miss Kimberly will help you do that.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And one of the things that while you were telling your story is you were talking about the haircuts.
Mhm.
And one thing that I don't know, but there's a lot of people that really don't know how to cut.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. There are a lot of people, and not to discredit or take away from anyone.
Hmm.
That's not
Hmm.
what we're here to do. But
Yes.
this is just a realization. And I say that because I'm hearing the consumer say it. Okay. When a
Yes.
consumer says, oh, I went to get my hair done so and so, but they didn't cut it because they were afraid to. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't cut my hair because they didn't know how. Or
Mm-hmm.
she didn't cut it because she said she didn't want to mess it up. So, I mean, this is even a place where, let's say that you are a licensed professional and you've been in the business for a long time and you don't know how to cut and you just say, okay, well, enough is enough. I've been holding this license for this long and I'm ready to scale my business. But in order to
Hmm.
do that, I'm going to need to learn how to do these haircuts. Well, then you can
Yes.
come to the hub and we can help you do that. So like I said, just building the community and saying, okay, well, I need to know where I'm going to go. You want to learn how to cut? We got you. Come on through.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. That really does mean a lot because I remember when I remember when I left beauty school, thinking I knew it all. I was a know-it-all. You couldn't tell me nothing. I know how to do this. I could do that. I've got these hands.
Yeah.
What I could do, I could cut. That's what I learned how to
Yeah,
do.
well,
And
back then we were so proud to be in the industry.
right,
It wasn't, yeah, it was the in thing, it was trending, it was doing all of those things, but we were making real money.
oh my God,
And we were making
baby.
people happy. Our
Mm-hmm,
customers were happy. They love to show up.
mm-hmm,
And it wasn't about us, it
right.
was about them, the
Yes,
customer
all day long.
service all day long.
Yes.
Okay. And I think that there has been a shift in the industry over the years where a lot of, and it may come from a lot of influencers and YouTubers and,
Mhm.
places where you didn't have to become or be licensed because
Mhm.
the numbers mattered. And
Right.
it kind of took away from the integrity, of the industry. But, you know, in my time and your time and coming up, it was about service and providing the best skill set that we
Yes.
could to the client. And if we didn't know, we had asked. We wasn't shamed, and we,
Right.
went to classes, got educated,
Hmm.
so that we could know. It was nothing to come from a class and have your new tools and
Right.
have your new skill set, and
That's
you're
right.
ready to work like that with
Investing.
the hand, right? So I just wish and hope, my greatest hope is that
Mhm.
people would understand that schools like yours is a safe place for them to come to be vulnerable, to open themselves up, to want to learn the
Mhm.
right way to
Mhm.
do things,
Absolutely.
without all of the fluff and without all of the pretentious stuff, but
Mhm.
learning a real pathway to success.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
So what a lot of this in the Apprentice Hub, that was amazing, by the way. Thank you.
you're
Is
welcome. The truth.
it is all the truth.
Yeah.
And what we hear, what we're doing is we're sharing some of those things that nobody tells you before you get invested. Like
Mhm.
you, we have to be transparent and upfront when you're getting into this industry.
Mhm.
It's not going to be a quick moneymaker if you do not put all of your efforts into it. You can't have your foot halfway in the door and think you're going to be this fantastic stylist if you're
Mhm.
not doing all things to make sure that you are that person that you say you are.
Yeah.
But above all that, right now we're in a time like we're coming out of COVID. The state is making all of these changes. Our PSI, our state exam just changed.
Yeah.
They're now enforcing mandatory CE hours for all licensees, and our safety and sanitation is right up front. Even
Mhm.
when we are preparing for state board, right now, 25%, I would say 25%, if not more, of our exam is safety and sanitation.
Mhm.
So while you are working under an apprentice, the sponsor needs to understand that safety and sanitation training that they're giving their apprentice student apprentice is first and foremost. But if they
Mhm.
don't understand the state laws and the
Mhm.
regulations and
Mhm.
can translate that through their training, then they're doing their stylist a disservice. So it's very important that when you are a sponsor, that you tap into the resources that are going to give you the guidelines to be able to help that student through those 2 years so that they're productive through those 2 years. So when it's time to
Mhm.
test, they're not
Mhm.
going into a test blindly. And right now, that's what happens. Oh, you're cleaning, you're cutting, you're styling, you're doing all these things. So you're getting one part of it. You're not getting both pieces. So that's, one of the main reasons why I wanted to start the hub, to let people know that there's information out there, but if you don't know how to and where to get the information, then you can come right here to the hub where we make sure that you have all the resources that
Mhm.
you need to be successful as a sponsor and as an apprenticee. And then we also want to talk about, we have mentioned before, all aspects of beauty culture. So a cosmetologist is also a nail tech. A cosmetologist
Mhm.
is also an esthetician. A
All
cosmetologist in
of
the
the
state of
things.
Maryland, yeah, a
Mhm.
cosmetologist in the state of Maryland is a lash technician. Oh, by
Mhm.
the way, if you didn't know, you do need a license to practice lashes. You can't just go out there and take a training from someone that's taken a training. Someone
Yeah.
that took a training now wants to start their own training. but they are working beyond scope if they don't have one, a cosmetology license, or two, an esthetician's license, because those are the only two people in the state of Maryland that can apply lashes. And a lot of people don't even know that. So that law was mandated. Right now, you have to have a license to operate to do lashes. There are schools that are approved to do lash training to certify you so you can go sit for the state exam. Oh, by the way, that's us, Revolutionary Institute, all things beauty.
Yes.
Put that in there. So, if you are someone that has been practicing lashes for years, there are people out there have been practicing lashes. But what
Yes.
happened is that a lot of people were also getting injured from these lash applications. They're getting injured, they're getting infections, they're
Hmm.
using tools that are not being sanitized properly. So now, because of that, the state has mandated that you cannot do lashes for anyone unless you have a license to operate. So,
Hmm.
this is what do they call it? Public service announcement, PSA. This
Yes.
is a
Hmm.
PSA. If you are out there putting lashes on people without a license, you
You
can.
are in violation.
There it is. Oop, oop,
Hmm.
there it is. Okay, so if you don't know now, you don't. If you don't know now, you
Hmm.
know
And will be fined.
that part. and
Hmm.
and talk about fines. I mean, come on now, I can talk about this thing forever. There are fines. There are fines. Come on now, there's $50 fine. I'm gonna just go down the $50 fines, $150 fines. There are $300 fines. There are, you have to appear in court. Like, you're gonna have to go stand in front of a judge and tell the judge
Hmm.
why you were, one, working without a license, two, working beyond scope,
Hmm.
three, not following all the safety and sanitation licenses. Please don't get me started, okay?
Yeah.
So,
And if I might add, the board will be there, and it's a strike against you if
mhm,
you want to apply for a license. That goes on record.
yes,
So
yes, it
don't
does.
hurt yourself before you even get started.
Yes. So I'm glad you said that. Then the other part too is, while we're talking about all of these things, we also have to mention your responsibility, one, as a licensee, and as the sponsor, that would be me, that we're documenting all things.
Mhm.
So I'm saying to the student, I have recorded your hours. Do I expect the student to say, okay, thank you? Or should I, as the sponsor, provide the student with the hours that have been recorded and sent to the state? Because as a sponsor, you're working directly with the state to show that you've done what you said you were going to do. So not only do I have to go in and put the hours in, yes, I did it. Now there's a report that's been generating, verifying that
Mhm.
yes, I did that. So, and that's just, to let you know, if you're out there, you're listening to this
Mhm.
podcast, please understand that if there is someone sponsoring you, and there are so many apprentices out there, and I do not believe that all of them understand their rights and responsibilities. So
Right.
we're here to just share the rights and responsibilities on both sides. This is a series. So this is just the beginning of the conversation. Get excited. I'm so glad that we're here and we're starting this, because I
Yes.
know there's lots of questions out there. I know, because my phone is ringing all the time and people are calling me and asking me these
Mhm.
questions. So I said, okay, Kimberly, instead of just picking up the phone and answering these questions all the time, let's just go ahead and have an open
Mhm.
discussion and let's talk about it. Okay. So get excited. Don't forget to share this with your friends so that next week on Wednesday at 6:30, you all can join us. Uh,
Yay.
the expectations for your apprentice and your apprentice sponsor, we got to get there. We have to be on time. If you set hours for your apprentice, if you made appointments for your apprentice, because our apprentices take appointments. So, in order for them to be able to get their hands on training, they're going to need to take their appointments, be there on time for their clients, be there on time for their training, and the same
Mhm.
thing with the sponsor. Now, I know in many cases where a sponsor would say, um, yeah, I'll be there later. Okay, we all have things that happen. Life happens, but there has to be um, open lines of
Accountability.
communication. evaluation
Yeah.
and accountability, yes, in order to make sure that the apprentice gets what they need. Now, I will say that in Maryland, our apprentices are at 20 hours a week. So 5, 10, 15, 20. That's a 5-hour day, 4 days a week for some. And for others, it may be, 2 day, 3 days that add up to 20 for that week, just as long as
Hmm.
you're meeting those 20 hours per week in order to be in compliance with the training.
Now, let me ask you, is there, I know it wasn't back when I was coming through the apprenticeship program,
Mhm.
but is there a portal now where the apprentice could go on and see where the hours have been recorded?
Not necessarily. There's a portal for the sponsor to add the hours, but what
Hmm.
happens is the hours will generate a receipt from the state, and then it'll be emailed directly to the apprentice and to the sponsor. So both sides
Okay.
gets a copy of the hours. So what I normally do in that case is once my apprentice gets their hours report, I'll double check and say hours were generated. Did you get your report? They say yes or
Mhm.
no, but it's always yes. And then I'll also take my report, I'll print it, and I'll put it in their file. Because at the end of their 2 years, I just want to verify that all of those hours are up to date and in the system.
And is it only hours, or is it, does it show what the hours were for, theory or practical?
Mhm. That's a good question. And it's not for on our side, our conversation from a sponsor to an apprentice look is we speak in hours because we are in hours educate, like it's an hour
Yes.
system, it's not 1,500 hours, but
Mhm.
according to the state it's like a credits, so they actually break it down by the month. So it's those 20 hours you recorded, 20 hours for 4 weeks, so that is your credits for that particular month. And then
Mhm.
throughout the
Mhm.
2 years, then it equates to the 1,500 hours that we
Mhm.
are referring to in the state of Maryland.
Mhm. Okay, I understand that, because we had to turn in our paperwork monthly. You
Yes.
had to do it monthly,
Yeah,
so
I
that makes
remember that. It was like a little white piece of
yeah,
paper, and it
little
had to have a
white
carbon
form.
copy of it. That was so long
Yeah.
ago.
Yes, it was.
Yes, but I do remember that very much so.
Mhm.
So that's cool. So I would like for anyone that is on our call or is viewing this to comment, drop a line in the comments if you're thinking about becoming an apprentice, get excited. And if you're already licensed and you may want to train someone, you are interested in becoming a sponsor. That's so exciting, especially while we have all these things going on in the beauty industry, and they're talking about taking away financial aid, and they're trying to stop us from becoming um, entrepreneurs and beauty moguls and all those things by taking away funds. Come on now, stop the madness.
Yes,
Because I'm
crazy.
sure there are plenty of senior cosmetologists out there that can sponsor someone. And if you, excuse me, and if you are interested in becoming a sponsor and you have questions and you need guidance, join us here, get into the hub. That way you can get all the information that you need so you'll
Mhm.
be a successful educator, because we do have education classes as well. Look, that's a little plug again. Teach the teacher. Teach the teacher, because I
Yes.
get these calls, it's always a phone call for me. So when someone calls and says, well, can you help me? Absolutely, I can. So let me figure out how to help you. And one of those questions was, I have been in the business for a long time. I've had my license forever. I still want to stay in the business, but I want to be a teacher, but I don't know how. And trust and
Mhm.
believe me, that is a valid request, because I
Yeah.
remember my first time, in education and having no experience whatsoever. And now having been in education for over 30 years, it could just fly off my tongue. But in the beginning, it
Mhm.
wasn't easy. But we do have foundations in place to be able to help you from 0 to 1,000 become the best educator that you can possibly be. And especially if you like to talk as much as me. Ooh, I made a rhyme. Ooh,
Well, at
um,
least when you're talking, you have something to talk about that's
get
of
excited.
value.
Okay, thank you. And if you're confused, what is confused? If you are confused about where to start, but you do have the passion, you have the education bug, you like to share, just tap into the hub and we will make sure that you have all the resources you need. This is just the beginning. We have
Yeah.
so much to talk about, so much to share. This was just a little teeny, teensy, weensy light to share
Yes.
with you because when I'm telling you, when that light come on, y'all gonna need some. Oh my God, you're gonna need some Ray-Bans or something
Yeah.
because it's about to get real. Okay,
Yeah.
am I right or am I right?
You are absolutely correct.
Okay. So I will for we are closing. I didn't think that I was going to be able to talk that long. Did you want to share anything else before I go through?
We can, I think this apprenticeship hub uh, uh, stream was
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. I know that we have a gateway once those who are in the apprenticeship hub and at Revolutionary Institute of Beauty. We have a pathway for you that, like Kim said, is going to, knock your socks off. And you'll be able to kind of graduate and or bridge into
Mhm.
a whole organization that is for you. And I think Kim is going to bring me back on to, speak of that, because the information that you all received today is just the beginning. And I believe she would want you all to sit in that for a moment and come back and know that you can join her, and I'll come back on too when she'll have me, and we'll talk more about UABC
Yes.
and what that is essentially, and how you can benefit from it. So,
Mhm.
I'm just glad to be here, and I thank you so much for having me, Kim.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. And yes, and I definitely want to talk about that in detail and in length when we meet again next week. So we are meeting here every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. And please make sure that you share this with all of your friends, family, and loved ones who may be interested in the beauty industry or already in the beauty industry. They have a home right here with us,
Mhm.
and tonight was just the beginning. This series is going to walk you through the apprenticeship journey step by step. We are going to talk about how to choose the right sponsor, how to prepare before you start, what tools you'll need, how to track your hours, how to build professionalism, how to prepare for the state board, get excited, and how to turn your license into a real career. So, here, what I want you to do. Follow this page, subscribe to the channel, share this live with someone who keeps saying they want to get into the beauty business, but they don't know where to start. And if you want more support, I will be opening up information for the Apprentice Coaching Series, where we go
Nice.
deeper with worksheets, live coaching, checklists, and step by step support. Remember this: you do not have to figure it out alone. You just need the right information, the right structure, and the right mindset. I'm Miss
Amen.
Kim, and this is the Beauty Industry Hub, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.